Hi, my name is Marilyn and today I'm going to be doing a full face tutorial where I'm going to show you how I do one of my favorite smoky eyes and my eyebrows as well. I shave off the front half of my eyebrow and this video isn't necessarily promoting that. This style of eyebrows honestly take a lot of dedication. I spend at least 10 minutes on them every day and I love it. It's one of my favorite parts of my makeup. Even on days when I don't really wear much, I still spend at least 10 minutes on my eyebrows. This is not the technique I use with people that have like hair. I wouldn't do this on a client because most people have hair. So yeah, this is just how I personally do my eyebrows. This is a great tutorial if you're more into like goth style makeup, especially if you have shaved off eyebrows or don't have any eyebrows at all. So this is my basically go-to kind of drag eyebrow. It's very large and in charge and dark. So yeah, if you want to know how I do my eyebrows, stay tuned. So to get started, I've already gone ahead and done all my skincare. I've moisturized and everything. The only thing I haven't done yet is done my primer. So before that, I'm going to go ahead and shave my eyebrows. What I like to use are these eyebrow shavers. They're by Tinkle. It comes in like a set of 3. I get them from the dollar store, but I know if you don't have them readily available to you, I've seen them be sold at like beauty supply stores, but they charge like $1 for just like one of them, so that's kind of a ripoff. But I've also seen them on like Amazon for like $4, so that's even more of a ripoff. So, I mean, if you don't have them available to you, I just recommend getting them off of Amazon. But yeah, this is my favorite one to use, and the way that I use this is just to clean up the outside of my brows and then the fronts too. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So when I shave my eyebrows, I usually, I try not to do it too often. Like if I'm taking photographs of my makeup, I will always, well, try to remember to do it. Sometimes you can see like the little stubble under my eyebrow. And if my eyebrows are starting to get too long, I also like to brush them through with the spoolie. And you can trim them with this eyebrow shaver too. So like this is getting too long. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to zoom you guys in. Dun dun dun. Okay. So these are kind of long. And like when you do your eyebrows, they start to like stick out and really warp the shape of your eyebrow that you're trying to do. So I'm just going to get rid of that. The front on here, I like it to be a little longer, so I kind of like how it looks. This one is kind of long too. So I'm just going to take off those little hairs, trim them down. You see how this one is like sticking out? So I'm just going to take the razor to it. So to brush through my eyebrows, I was using one of my new favorite eyebrow brushes. This one is the V10 by BH Cosmetics, and it is a double-sided brush. I love double-sided brushes. I don't know why like a lot of people on YouTube don't really use them. For me, it's easy to like throw in my makeup bag, especially when I'm traveling and stuff, to just have everything in one. I use this for one of the techniques that I use to blend out my eyebrows. And also the other side is angled, so this is perfect for really getting into that. I just noticed that my thumbnail isn't painted, sorry. This brush is synthetic, so it's not my favorite for powders especially, and I do go in with powder first for my eyebrows, so it's not ideal. I mean, if you use a pomade or something, I would really recommend that brush. So for today, I'm going to be just working my way down my face. So first I'm going in with my NYX Pore Filler Primer, and I'm just going to be adding this to my forehead where I'm going to be working on my brows. For foundation today, I'm going to be using the Superstay by Maybelline. I love this foundation. The only thing is that the shade is kind of awkward for me. It doesn't have the right undertone. It's kind of pink. This one is the shade Classic Ivory, just on the top of my face where we're going to be doing the brows for now. And to apply the foundation, I'm going to be using my BH Cosmetics V12 foundation brush. And I'm also going to be highlighting the center of my forehead with Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. This is the way that I do it when I just do my eyes first, so that it gives my moisturizer more time to sink into my face, or if I need to clean up under my eyes when doing a smoky eye or something. Right now, my favorite black eyeshadow to use on my eyebrows is black from the Orb of Light palette. I like it because it's super pigmented, but also on lazy days when I'm just wearing eyeshadow as my eyebrow, it doesn't smudge a lot. So I've had other eyeshadows or other types of products that I've tried to use and they smudge really easily, and that one lasts pretty good. It's not too bad, but honestly for this part of the eyebrow you don't really need a pigmented black. So first what I'm going to do is actually line under the brow and really create that arc. Alright, so now that we have the basic shape sketched out, now I'm going to do the tops of the eyebrow. Since this brush is synthetic, it doesn't really pick up the pigment that well, so we're going to add a little bit of water to the brush to make the pigment stand out and make the application darker much quicker, instead of having to worry about adding layers. So this is just a basic shape that we're going to start from. I'm just going to go ahead and try to match it up on the other side. I like to have like my little eyebrow hairs show through, so I'm just going to blend in the product forward and blend up that line that I placed under the brow to really kind of ombre the brow from like nothing into the darkness that we have at the end. So where you place the spoolie really does move the product. So you want to be careful too not to just go crazy. Like you need to be kind of particular of where you place the tool down, because that's where it's going to place the color. And if you do go too far, like I have like a little splotch up here, since we haven't set our foundation, you can just go back with your brush and really blur that front of the brow. That's one of the good things, that's why I don't set my foundation yet, because you can go ahead and still clean it up. If it's not going away like you want, you can just add some more concealer too. And I feel like one of the most defining parts of my eyebrow is kind of like it has a swoop under the brow. If you notice that your eyebrows aren't matching up, you might want to like tilt your head back and see what shape is going on down here. So as you can see, this one is really straight. This is my good eyebrow. So this one has like that kind of natural swoop under the brow. So what I want to do is really match it up to this side. Another defining point of my eyebrow is actually the point of the arch. The way that I do it is I really like to make my products and brushes make the shape for me. So what I really do is place the brush down and kind of glide it. I don't like to like draw on like a little triangle or something. I just like to push the product up into that shape. I don't know how to explain it, just that's the best I can do. I mean, I'm going through and really dissecting this eyebrow so that you can see me just go ahead and work through this one. So I want the point to be here, so I'm just pushing the brush up. And for that sharp point at the end that I do, you just want to draw it on and release the pressure as you go. And to help, I also just like wipe it away with my finger. So this is the final shape for my eyebrow that I'm going to be doing today. I'm just going to go ahead and match this one up and do all those things that I explained. So like on a lazy day, I would just maybe clean up under the brow with a little bit of concealer and really go through and darken the eyeshadow. So at this point, you could use this tutorial on how to get inspiration on like how I think through and fill in my eyebrows. You can just use whatever product like a powder or a pomade as well and really just use this to create your natural eyebrow shape. But since I don't have eyebrow hairs, what I like to do is I take one more step in setting the tail of my eyebrow with some eyeliner. I haven't gone through and cleaned it up yet. I usually like to do that afterwards. So first we're going to be taking, my favorite liquid liner to use for this is the NYX Matte one. I love using the brush tip that it has to really create that tail. Another one that I've used that's really good for making my eyebrows super budge proof is the Dip Liner by Essence. And this one is the waterproof version, but the regular one is just as good. So I really recommend these, although I don't really like the applicator on this. So what I'm going to do is first line under my brow. I'm just going to be laying the brush flat and dragging it across the tail. Now I'm going to be filling in the arch of my brow, only up to where my hairs end. And then for the top portion, I really do the same thing that I did before. I kind of push the product with the brush, not from the tip of it, but like, I don't know, like when you're gliding it through, you kind of want to maneuver the product up into that point. So I'm just dragging the product, and with like the center of the brush, you want to just drag it. I'm like dipping it back in a lot because my eyeliner is like drying out right now. I need a new one. And then from that arch, we're just going to pull it down all the way through the tail again. So this brow is still super rough. I still need to go through and clean it up. But to blend together the front of the brow with that dark eyeliner at the end, I'm going to be going back and really packing on the black eyeshadow in between. Now I'm just going to go through and do the other eyebrow, and then I'll come back to show you how I clean up under my brow. So to clean up under my brow, I'm going to be using some concealer. This is by Wet n Wild. It's the Photo Focus concealer from before. And my favorite brush to use for under my eyebrows and around it as well is by JCat number 11 brush. I like to place the concealer like a little bit under where I'm going to be cleaning up. I don't like to put it like straight onto the line, so if you can see that. I put it a little below, and I work it into the brush itself first. Kind of blend it on my lid for the eyeshadow later. And then once it's worked into the brush, that's when I really like to go in and clean up the lines. So I'm just doing under the brow. And when you get to the tail, you really want to do it in like one swipe. I'm just going to go back in with a little bit of eyeshadow and really clean up the line one more time. If I'm feeling fancy, that's when I go ahead and clean the top of the brow. I don't usually mess with it too much, but I want to show you what I do look for. Just place it a little bit away from where I want the color to go. And if you take off too much, you can go back in and put some more with the eyeshadow. One of the most important parts to me is how this kind of swoops down. That's one of the main things that kind of makes your eyebrows look different, as well as the part from under is this part up here that really can make the difference when trying to match up your brows. And I just like to do it to the tops. I don't really like to mess with the inside too much. I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out with my foundation brush. And I'm going to touch up the tail because I took way too much off there. And that is a finished brow. This is my good brow, so I'm just going to touch it up a little bit. This is the one that needs a lot of help. So now that my eyebrows are done, I'm going to go ahead and set the top half, and I'm going to be using my Coty Airspun. For this eyeshadow look, I'm going to be doing one of my new favorite smoky eyes using some products that are actually limited edition. So I'm sorry, I'm going to try to do my best to match up some dupes so that you can go ahead and recreate this look as well. So to set under my eyebrow, I'm going to be taking the shade New on a flat, fluffy shading brush. If you notice, like once you set the makeup, my eyebrows kind of changed and got a little lighter. I kind of like that, like so throughout the day it'll like, if I have any moisture or oiliness that goes through, my eyebrows just get a little darker. But if you want to take that away, I'd recommend not going over it with powder. It doesn't really need it that much. I mean, these products stay pretty well. I just did it because I'm going to go through with some setting spray afterwards anyway, so it doesn't matter. Normally when I do my makeup, I don't really like to use that many brushes because I don't want to have that many to clean. So I'm just going to actually take that same brush, and I'm going to be using the shade Dope. And this is from the Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette. It is limited edition, so in order to follow through with this tutorial, if you don't have that palette, I would recommend picking up the Morphe 35B palette. And I would really recommend this shade right here. You're just going to be looking for something in your collection that's like a muted lavender. Now with the flat shader brush, this is going to be the V18 by BH Cosmetics. I'm going to be taking the shade Black and placing it all over the eyelid. So now to really blend that black eyeshadow with the dope color, I'm going to be using a smaller blending brush. This is the V20 by BH Cosmetics, and I'm going to be dipping between the two. Now with the brush that we used to apply dope, I'm just going to add it one more time to really blur out the edges. Now with a black pencil liner, I'm going to be adding it under the eye to do the same thing. We're going to just add the black and smoke it out with dope. So to make this smoky eye really stand out, I'm going to be adding this liquid eyeshadow. It's from the Gothographic collection from Wet n Wild, and it's called Goth Tears. Since that eyeshadow is limited edition, what I would recommend is to go ahead and use the Alchemist palette by Kat Von D. You could mix the shades Blue Sapphire and the Ultraviolet Amethyst, and it would basically make the same color. With something like this, you really want to use it over a black base and pat it out until it's dried. I'm just going to go ahead and touch up the black and add a thin line of eyeliner and my lashes, and we'll be right back. My eyelashes are 2 pairs of 62 creme lashes. In my waterline, I have the NYX Wonder Pencil, and to clean up the lash band, I used my NYX Liquid Liner as well. So before I go in with my Maybelline Superstay, I'm actually going to add some primer. This is my favorite primer, and for this product, I really like to press it into the skin. For concealer, I'm going to be taking my Wet n Wild Photo Focus under the eyes. To set that, I'm going to be taking a big brush and using my Coty Airspun. For my contour, I'm taking the NYX Taupe Blush. And for my nose contour, I'm going to be taking my Kat Von D No. 40 brush with the e.l.f. Eyebrow Kit in Light. To brighten up my face, I'm going to be taking the shade New from the Orb of Light palette and just putting it on the high points of my face. So I found a new favorite highlighter. Like, I hate highlighter, but this has been the only thing I've been using on my face lately, and it's the Gothographic Moon Tears highlighter from Wet n Wild. And I love this brush. It's the V17 from BH Cosmetics. So for my lip combo for this nude lipstick that I'm going to be doing, it's one of my favorites, and it's the Mauve Lip Liner by NYX. And for the center, I'm going to be adding Nudie Patootie by Wet n Wild. Alright, I'm just going to add my NYX Matte Finish Spray and we'll be all done. So this is the final look. This is honestly one of my favorite go-to kind of smoky eyes. I just like to change up the color on the outside, and usually I go for any shade in here for the Alchemist palette. I hope you enjoyed learning how I do my eyebrows. They are a lot, but I mean, that's me. So yeah, it's pretty intensive, like all the time that I put into it and also all the detail that goes into my eyebrows. But it's honestly like my favorite part of all of my makeup. Recently I've been starting to get more into like my skincare just because like I noticed how bad it looks on camera. But hopefully once I get more into that, I'll do a routine on what I do to prep my skin and also like my foundation and stuff. It's pretty simple, but the products that I use I feel could be helpful for some people, especially since a lot of the stuff that I use is quite affordable. As always, thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate everyone. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. You can follow my social media at MarilynMugBeat, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!